Welcome to the Nations Ministry Tutoring and Mentoring Training. My name's Chad, and I'm the Director of the Youth and Volunteer Services for Nations Ministry. And I've worked for Nations for a year. So just an outline of the training today is that we're going to talk about each other. We're going to introduce each other, have a little interactive game. I want to tell you guys the expectations that I have for you, but I also want to hear your expectations for me as the program director. I'll tell the refugee story and then how Nations Ministry fits into that. Then more specifically, how the tutoring fits into Nations Ministry's goal. So, just a couple housekeeping things. Parking. We ask everybody to park on Hapwood Drive, which is on the other side of the school, parallel with Charlotte Pike. So once you turn left on Davidson Drive, you go past the school and then park above the bus lane, like past the bus lane, so that when the bus pulls out, it doesn't hit your car. Because normally you'll be coming here and then the kids leave on the bus, so kind of the timing could be bad. As far as the bathroom goes, it's through these doors, up the stairs to the left. So up the stairs to the left, and then you take an immediate left into this little hall, and they're on either side. So that's the bathroom for us. For the kids, it's on the opposite side of the hallway. So you go up the stairs to the left, and it's right there on your right. And just a note about the bathroom, and this is important. You can take, the kids have to be chaperoned one at a time, and you're not allowed to go in the bathroom with them. In fact, don't ever be alone in a room, in a closed room with a kid. That's very, very important. So maybe if you go to a different classroom, make sure the door is always open. Or if I ask you to go to a different classroom and stay there, make sure the door is open. And then as far as attire goes, it's business casual. So you can wear like a t-shirt's fine, jeans are fine, but something that's appropriate for a school setting and that you would feel comfortable in a semi-formal setting. So they wear like uniforms, they tuck in their shirt. Obviously I don't have a tucked in shirt, but no tank tops, no short shorts, just modest clothing basically is all I ask. So enough of that. The only other thing is, if you haven't filled out your forms, any of like the background check form or your application, fill that out. But there's one form that you need to wait until the end, and that's the volunteer training feedback form. But definitely fill that out at the end. So kind of divide the table into two, these four here and these four here. And what I want you guys to do is learn someone's name and where they're from. And so this is a little exercise to practice, but also I think it's important to get to know each other on this team. And so what's your name, where are you from? And the reason that it's kind of practice is because I want you guys to do that with the kids too. So someone new that you haven't met before. And go. Okay, so you learned names and where people are from. Now it's interesting when you ask the kids this, which you will need to be proactive with the kids to ask, because oftentimes they will not be proactive with you. They may even not pay attention to you when you try and talk to them. But once you kind of grab their attention and you hear their name and where they're from, you may be surprised. They may say Nashville, I don't know. They may say Africa in general, or Asia. And so you kind of have to dig in a little bit. And maybe when they say a country, that's where their parents were from, but they were born in a different country. It's actually really revealing about who they are, maybe even more so than a typical American, North American even. But also I wanted you guys to get to know each other a little bit, because we are a team. Last year I didn't have this terminology, but this year we have a team for each day. So we have the Monday team, the Tuesday team, Wednesday team, and Thursday team. Now some of you are on multiple teams, which is great. Kelsey's on 4. But I use that terminology, number one, because it builds consistency. But number two, I might kind of as the quarterback, I might tell you like what the play is today. Like, I need you to work with so-and-so. Or if you guys know each other well and how you work well, maybe you can work together for students. Sometimes you'll be in a group. Sometimes you have to switch positions, whatever it might be. But we are a team. We're not just individuals coming to tutoring training or to tutoring every day. We're a team that works together. And so my goal is to have one-on-one tutoring for the 17 kids in our active program 4 days a week. And we're very close to it. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys the vision a little bit for why we have one-on-one tutoring. It's to be intentional, but also to be able to switch around too. So, and then in terms of leadership, I'm the director of the youth and volunteer services for the agency. So what that means is that I focus on this program for the youth. And I think of it in terms of like an inverse pyramid. So I'm at the bottom. And so it's like a reverse hierarchy. Like I take the weight of responsibility that the program carries. And then I'm also willing to serve. I'm not above that. In fact, I want to set the tone in that way. And then hopefully it will trickle down or trickle up maybe to you guys and then to the kids. Because I want us all, in one sense, we are all equals. And if I ask someone to pick something up, I'm willing to do that as well. If they're going to clean up spilled water, I'm willing to do that too. So, but I also do take the weight of the responsibility. So what that means is that I'm an advocate for the kids and their families to the school. And if a student is really struggling, like it's my responsibility, no one else is, at the end of the day, to help them. And so we're on a team, and I'm going to ask you to participate in the team as the leader so that we can accomplish together what I couldn't do alone, because I've been in here when it's one or two people helping out, and it's crazy. So you guys are very solid, and I need you as investors into these kids. So that's kind of the team and the leadership. So I want to move into expectations. And I just want to ask it to you. What are your expectations of me before I tell you my expectations of you? Do you have a joke ready?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of something. I think you know what I expect.
Oh, high expectations.
Hi. I think if anything, it would be that if there's like a particular child that like has like a history or like of it is really like having a difficult time, that you would tell us that, like when we come to tutoring, that way we're not just like, why is this kid acting crazy today? You know.
Okay. Good. What else?
I guess just your communication open.
Okay. And what does that look like on a practical
I
level?
mean, it's just like if you need something, if you need help with something, just to let me know.
Okay.
I think we've already established that.
Yeah. So if I need help, let you know that I need help. I like that. That's good. And then Sarah said to make volunteers aware of specific issues with certain children too. Okay. What else? I've got a list, guys. You need a list. Actually, my list is pretty small. Okay. If you think of it.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
to be open to suggestions along the way whenever we, work with the kids a little bit more, and
Yeah.
maybe then we'll have more questions whenever we experience actual tutoring process.
Okay. So be open to questions or be open to suggestions?
Oh yeah, be open to suggestions, questions,
Yeah.
be organic maybe.
Yeah.
But you are very organic, so.
Okay. So in other words, keep an open dialogue
Yeah.
as the process continues and as we all grow together in how to serve these kids. Okay. Cool. And if you guys think of anything else, let me know. You can interrupt me as well too. So my first expectation is consistency. By joining a team, it means that you show up when the team shows up. So if it's your day, that commitment means that you'll be there every week. Now, obviously, there's like Thanksgiving, there's holidays and things like that, and there's sickness. So kind of what that leads into is my second expectation, which is communication. If you're not going to show up, like you literally can't, or something comes up, totally fine. Just let me know. And so if you know ahead of time, like at least an hour before, send me an email. If it's within an hour leading up to the tutoring, text me and let me know you won't be there. So communication is like the number one expectation that I have for you guys. And then coupled with that is the fact that I want you to receive my communication with you. And so what that means is, on a practical level, I want to help mentor and guide you as tutors, which is on a practical level is here at the program. But then also, if you become a mentor, the girls will have a mentor coach, Leslie Grody, who's been a part of the program for a long time, and then the guys will be like coached by me as you mentor the students. But then another level of communication that I expect you to receive is my weekly emails. So I send those out generally on Sundays once the tutoring program gets full going, and so I expect you to read them because maybe we've canceled that week. And you need to know about it. But also I offer tips and resources. So I have like tutoring tip of the week at the bottom, which sometimes is witty, and you need to read that. No, but for the most part, the email, actually, some of the resources are going to be really great. So make sure to read that. And then I'll also offer tips like how to engage the students better, because I can't just like tell everything all at once. So definitely that part. But more importantly, it's the stuff in the meat of the email, which is situational and week to week. So that's why I expect you to read those emails. And then, so those are really my two biggest expectations. It's really simple. But I also wanted to paint the picture for what the process looks like during the tutoring session, and that's kind of an expectation too. So the first part of that is when you enter the building, number one, just ring the little doorbell and look into the camera, and then they'll let you in. But then as far as helping me know that you are here and keeping track of your hours for us, and maybe if you have requirements, it's to sign in being the first thing that you do every time you come in. And it'll be right here on this table every time. So before you do anything else, please do that. That way you don't have to think about it. And then the next part of the process for you guys would be to engage the students. So they're going to be coming in right around the same time you do. So engaging the students basically is saying, what's your name and where are you from? Now once you get to know the students, then it's, how was your day? What was the best thing that happened today? Or if they say I had a bad day, you could even say, well, what was one good thing that happened even though it was a bad day? Trying to remain positive and really just get to know them, because they've probably not had like an adult just say, how are you all day? The teachers are helping them with homework. So it's a cool opportunity just to let them relax. They eat chips and drink water. Now the water is important for their bodies to like get ready for tutoring. It actually helps the brain focus. So that's why we have water every day. And the chips are basically a way to sustain them. I mean, it's not much, but after an 8-hour school day, they need something. So it also helps them relax. And so from 4 to 4:15 on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we have like a little snack time. And then from 4:15 to 5:15 is tutoring. And then from 5:15 to 5:30, we get on the bus. Now Wednesday's a little different, but it does take a little while to rally the kids. Now I would love it if you guys would stay until the kids have left the building. That way, in case I need to say something to you, we're all still here in the room. So that's why we say till 5:30. So after you sit down with the kids and you're talking with them during snack time, I'll say, okay, it's time to tutor now. 5:15. Sorry, 4:15. That's the time, 4:15. And a really practical thing you can do, and I expect you to do this, is ask to see their tracker. Now, I've already checked in with them, and I know what subjects they have homework in, and I've checked that their tracker is filled out. They can't get chips until it's filled out. So every student will have all their homework written down, or it'll say none next to it. That is a huge tool for you guys. And then once you see what they have, ask them, what's the most difficult thing you have to do today? Very, very simple. They may not tell you the truth. So you might have to like discern. Is that really the hardest thing? And as you get to know the students, that'll become easier for you to find out. And then when they do their homework, celebrate everything. Everything. Everything they do. So they do one math problem well, say, good job. You did that really, and then specify what it is. You're really good at rounding. You're really good at fractions, or whatever it is. You're such a good reader. I mean, do that. It's one of the most important things that we get to do, just to straight up encourage them. And then when they finish something, give them a high five. And they have these little note cards they check in with. Once they finish an entire subject's work, make sure that they check that subject off. And then hypothetically, when that's all checked off, they're all done. And then write your name on the back of the card. So those are the two things that you write your name on: the sign-in sheet and their check-in sheet. That way I know who tutored whom every day. And so that is my expectations of tutors. Now we have something new this year. It's the mentorship program. So a mentor is a tutor who is more intentional and more involved. And what that looks like is that every time you come, you tutor the same student. And it's established that you are their mentor. And then outside of tutoring, you spend 3 times a semester with them outside of the program. And it's something that you place interest in, you kind of apply for, and then I pair you with the student based on my knowledge of you and my knowledge of them. And then you can kind of you can go to their house, pick them up, and play soccer. You can go to their house, pick them up, go shopping, like whatever it is, and we'll plan that out together. Or Leslie Garotti will help you plan that out for the girls. So this is really, really exciting because that means you have the opportunity to meet their families, see where they live, and have fun outside of an academic setting. And that's really important to me because this is not just an academic thing. This is very much a relational and holistic program, because my primary goal for each student is that they become a mature man or woman. That in this season of their life, we help them do that. So it's kind of a cool opportunity, and it's a pivotal time in everybody's life. And so they commit to a full school year, a mentor does. That way there's more consistency. And we're going to start this in October. So if you want to be a mentor, let me know you're interested, and the top 3 students in order that you're interested in mentoring. And the goal is that by October 1, we'll start that process of connecting people. But not just mentors. I want you as tutors, even if you're not a mentor, to try and focus on 1 or 2 students every time you come, so there's some consistency. So those are my expectations. I want to open it up a little bit and talk about the refugee story. So who has an idea about what a refugee is? So the question is, what's a refugee? And you don't have to be right. You just have to have vocal cords. And make an intelligible sound. So what's a refugee?
Someone who's moved somewhere to escape something.
It's good. How would you guys phrase that? I mean, that's true.
Seeking refuge, moving from place to seek refuge.
Yep. So there's something they're running from or moving away from into another place. And what types of things do refugees move away from?
War.
Sorry?
War.
Move away from war. What else? That's true.
Discrimination.
Discrimination. What kinds of discrimination?
Religious.
Religious is one.
Ethnic.
Ethnic.
Political, social.
Yes. All right, we pretty much covered them. Someone talked about famine. I don't know technically if that's included. I don't think it is. I think so. The proper definition is like the one from 1951 that they formalized is that a refugee is someone who has fled persecution and has little or no hope of ever returning to their home country. And so that kind of persecution can be political, religious, or ethnic. Those are the main categories. Ezekiel is a refugee, and I want to tell you guys his story. He was born in Congo, But before his family ever moved and fled to Congo, they lived in Burundi. Burundi is the country just south of Rwanda that has the same two ethnic groups that a lot of people found out about through the genocide in Rwanda in 1994. So picture the same political climate, but in the country just south. And that's where Ezekiel's parents grew up. And his father was a fisherman. So when the war broke out in 1972, and they fled to Congo to seek refuge, his father fished in the lake that was on the eastern border of Congo called Lake Tanganyika. And Ezekiel says that he remembers seeing his father in his fishing boat growing up. Well, that ended up becoming convenient because 5 years after they moved to Congo, a war broke out in Congo, and they had to flee to another country. So their whole family got in his fishing boat and went across the lake into Tanzania to find refuge again, war after war. And when Ezekiel and his family arrived in Tanzania, they didn't want to go to the refugee camps because there's limited resources. Like, you don't really know how much space you're going to have, if you're going to eat as much as you should, or if you're going to be able to provide for your family. And so they actually avoided the refugee camps until the Tanzanian government decided that there were too many foreigners living there. And so they went through, and if they could recognize that your Swahili accent wasn't from Tanzania, they made you go to a refugee camp. And so his family ended up forced into a refugee camp. There are 2 million refugees worldwide, and only 1% are resettled from a refugee camp to a different country other than their home. And 3 of Ezekiel's kids are in our tutoring program. They've been refugees as a group, as a family, since 1972. So if we're looking at psychological trauma that lingers on, these are generations of refugees. And out of the 1%, every year, at least 60,000 refugees come to North America. And of those, 1,000 come to Nashville, Tennessee, every year. So our work is cut out for us. And so this is a great opportunity not just to learn about, not just to invest into and serve these students, but there will be refugees continually coming to America, I imagine, for the rest of our lives. So this is an educational experience too. It's great to go overseas, yes, but those who were overseas have come here as well. So this is just an incredible opportunity for you guys to serve them. So how does Nations Ministry fit into the refugee story? We have a goal of serving refugees towards genuine self-sufficiency. We don't resettle refugees, but we do help them after resettlement, from everything from getting a job to becoming citizens, helping their kids get ready for kindergarten, and then we also do case management. So we have 4 members on staff. So, and then Kelsey is our full-time volunteer. And so we're really, really small, and we're the only agency located in West Nashville that helps refugees. So Nolensville Pike is often thought of as, and it has a lot of internationals living there, but also agencies. Well, in West Nashville, we're the only refugee agency located in West Nashville. So we have a unique opportunity there as well. And we are a 501c3 nonprofit that was incorporated in 2005, but it's really been the last, I'd say, 5 years that things have been growing and growing and growing. So we focus on middle school students in this program under the umbrella of Nations Ministry because oftentimes the students don't have parents who know enough English to help with their homework. I mean, it's really, really simple. Because they've immigrated when they were older in life, the parents have a more difficult time learning English. So that's kind of where we step in. And middle school is such a pivotal time for everybody involved. And so we have this great opportunity to help them determine who they're going to be when they grow up. It really is pivotal. What struggles did you witness that people had in middle school? Anyone, like, so I'll throw out an example. Not making a sports team was a struggle. Another one for me personally, and you guys don't have to share personally, but for me personally, it was like fitting in. I didn't feel like I fit in until 8th grade. Like, I moved here from Canada when I was in 3rd grade. It took me like 4 years to whatever. What are some other struggles that middle schoolers in general face?
The workload. I know the school I went to, I gone to a public elementary school and then a private middle school, and the homework, I mean, our backpacks were so heavy. We're like 7th and 8th graders, you know, like little people with, you know, a big load, and so it was a lot more intense.
Okay, what else? Maintaining the same set of friends. That was difficult to do.
Yeah, I think with young people, sometimes your friends will change, so putting them back can be really jarring.
Yeah.
I agree.
Whereas,
It's hard to like make friends and keep friends and try to make everyone functioning.
yeah, social stuff is really hard. So, and then all the drama and the gossip and like self-image, like what you wear and stuff like that. It is kind of rough. What else? So we got academic, social stuff, physical changes, going through puberty. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Like, you wearing deodorant for the first time, hopefully.
His t-shirt design will be on the t-shirts for the event on October 5th.